Good day, everyone. This is Piney Needles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host, Flying in Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going this Memorial Day? It's the holiday edition of DDO Players News. In the United States, it is Memorial Day, so we do just want to give a big shout out to all of the armed forces people in the military that allow us to do the show, because without them, we probably wouldn't be able to do this. So salute to all the veterans. And of course, Memorial Day, we remember all the ones who unfortunately gave the ultimate sacrifice to make us free. So we salute you and thank you.
And thank you. Now let's head into our news, and I'm hearing some crickets.
Yeah, once again, if you're tuning into this show for DDO, this is going to be your section, because we've got no DDO news. We got the Chronicle, and that's what we got. So hopefully soon we'll get some DDO news. I know on the weekly Wednesday live stream last week, Cordovan did say they were hard at work on the new adventure pack, so maybe we'll get some news soon about that. I don't know.
Now, I'm looking at this cover screenshot, and I don't know, it looks more like something out of a science fiction spaceship.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is. It's kind of science fiction-ish. Yeah, it's airship. I'm not sure what the red thing it's flying to is, though. I don't know, but yeah, cool screenshot though. But yeah, definitely not fantasy-ish related.
Yeah, though seeing the tree there does belie the science fiction feel.
True. But yeah, what are you gonna do? Welcome, Gump Gang. He forgot it was Monday until he got the Mixer notification. Well, see, there you go. We're helping to remind you that it's Monday.
Let me remind you that it's Monday, so that you remember that you have to get back to work tomorrow.
Yeah, probably yes. In our Chronicle this week, we have Strimtom. He played 8 hours of a new build he's calling the 30 IQ build. So click over and watch that to see exactly what the heck the 30 IQ build is.
I was wondering, what? 30 IQ?
Strimtom comes up with some very interesting builds. I will give him that.
So therefore, I'm trying to think, does that mean he's trying to see if he could get a 30 intelligence on a low-level character?
Knowing Strimtom, it might very well be that. I'm not sure. I didn't actually watch any of this live stream, so I will have to do that. But my guess is yes. I think that is what it is. Over in our Fansite News section, DDO Players News. Hey, that's us. We had an episode that came out last week, 180, and we did. And it's like this episode, there was not a lot of DDO news in it.
Well,
DDO PL gets the bolts, so click over and watch that. And if you're not familiar with DDO PL, they are Polish. So if you don't speak Polish, you're going to be very confused about what's going on. McVegan Pants is doing giant hold walk-ups and more. Click over and watch her latest thrilling heroics. Even Note, Levels to Lobies, and that was on Streaming with Even. Doug Glendower is heading into the Forgotten Realms. Click over to check out the latest edition of A Bard's Life. Baklagor is spending Fridays on ice. Click over and chill out with Baklagor. That is a really fun show to watch. He does a great job on that show. And brighter days ahead, Battles Pirates. Who doesn't want to battle pirates? Click over and watch their weekly show. And Inside the Magic Circle is returning to Galanda. Click over and you can check out Tone Station's latest live stream. And Game Olio Dan is continuing his DDO Let's Play over on YouTube. He is up to part 10 of his series over on YouTube. I couldn't think of how I wanted to word that. And as always, we do have our Chronicle comment of the week. Inside of the chest is a fortune cookie plus run. It reads,
if you run this said epic, you get a fortune cookie plus 2.
Oh, nice answer. Nice answer. And, of course, mine would read, sorry, you get no fortune. Because RNG.
Because RNG. I thought you says no named loot this time.
Well, that too. I'm so used to that, sadly. And also in our article, we do have our official screenshot of the week, and that is, I'm just going to say X-Lane, because there's like a bunch of X's in it, so we'll just say X-Lane. Then again, I butcher names. It's what I do. You're welcome. X-Lane focuses her mind in the 368th DDO screenshot of the week. And that is a pretty cool screenshot. A monk doing their monkey thing in front of the door of eyes there. I always love that door. That door is awesome.
It looks disconcerting.
Yeah, probably not a door you want to walk through.
Let's see what's on sale then. Any nice loot?
It's not bad, actually, this week. 25% off Slayer Boosts. Those are always good. Loot Boost and Treasure Hunter Elixirs. Select Shared Storage, also at 25% off. And our free sample of the week is a Lasting Potion of Shield Faith. And that will give you a +2 Shield Faith. You'll get 5 of those when you use coupon code Shield Faith. Go figure. SHIELDFAITH. Shield Faith. And that will be your free sample through May the 31st.
Then let's see what's coming in from the dungeon. And in the May D&D sale, we have Middle-earth Adventures. And who's putting on this sale?
This is done by the fine folks over at Drive-Thru RPG, so it's going to be on all of their sites, which would be RPG Now, Drive-Thru RPG, DM's Guild. Any of the above sites, you can get to it because they're all basically one site with different names. It's confusing. But yeah, they are running some pretty good bundle sales through the end of May. So you have a few days to jump on this if you have not. We are recording this on Monday, May the 28th. The episode will come out Wednesday, May 30th. So from when you're hearing this now or when you're hearing it on Wednesday, you have until the end of the month to take part in this deal. And this particular bundle is the Adventures in Middle-earth bundle. It will get you some PDFs for the Adventures in Middle-earth D&D 5e series. You will get Adventures in Middle-earth, the Rovanian Region Guide. You'll get the Lore Master's Guide, the Player's Guide, and Wilderland Adventures. And you will get all of those. That is a total value of $70.36. But with the bundle pricing, you will get all the above for $29.95. That is a savings of $40.41, or if you want to do the math, about 57% off.
All right, so if we have any budding Middle-earth lore masters out there, this is a good time to get it.
It is, and that would be, this would pretty much get you from level 1 to up to about level 10. So this is a good spread of books to get you going, and you could play for quite a while before you would have to buy any other of the PDF books. So it's the Adventures in Middle-earth bundle sale over at Drive-Thru RPG.
And I noticed that Eriador Adventures is not included in that bundle.
It is not. I was kind of hoping it would be, but alas, it's the new book, so kind of makes sense. But we did talk about this last week, that you could pre-order the hardbacked version of it. But if you can't wait and you want it now, like Baruch Assault, come on, you at least got that joke, right, Pinely?
I didn't hear the words enough, so I wouldn't even know if I would have gotten it if I did hear it clearly.
I see. I said, if you want it now, like Baruch Assault.
Baruch Assault?
Oh, God, he doesn't get it, folks. You know, from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka, Baruch Assault, she's the one the brat that wanted it now.
Oh, okay. I don't remember names all that well.
Oh, yes. Yes,
so,
her name was Baruch Assault.
Her name was Baruch Assault.
Baruch Assault, yes. See?
That's not exactly a name that will stick in my mind.
Okay, well, see, now you learned something today. The bratty kid from Willy Wonka was Baruch Assault, see?
Okay. Yes.
Now, when that
Yeah.
comes up in trivia, you can thank me later.
I'm sure I will forget the name completely 10 minutes after this point.
But we did talk about the Area Door Adventure book was up for pre-order over at Cubicle 7 for the hardcover version. But if you do want the PDF, you can head over to any of the drive-through RPG sites and pick it up today. And it will run you, as we said, not on sale. So it is $19.99 for the PDF. But do remember, Cubicle 7 over on their site, they do have a bundle deal that you can buy the hardback and the PDF at the same time, and you save a little bit of money doing it. I can't remember the exact price. But either way, PDF is available, so go get it and check out the 7 new adventures that are out for Adventures in Middle-earth in the...
Then let's head into Mordekainen's Tome of Foes, which is now available for virtual tabletops.
Indeed, your virtual tabletop of choice. It is available on Fantasy Grounds and on Roll20 both. So depending on which side of that argument you lie, you can play with the Mordekainen's Tome of Foes, which of course is the brand new book out for 5e that offers several different information on monsters, new and old. There's also greater challenges, so if you're a DM and you want to throw some challenges to some high-level players, this book will get you how to do that. And there is some nice stories and background about stuff as well, and some story hooks. But the Mordekainen's Tome of Foes, available on Fantasy Grounds and Roll20 both. And the hardcover book is available now in your friendly local game store. And it will be available tomorrow on May the 29th everywhere. So like Amazon, any place like that, will have it tomorrow. But if you want it on virtual tabletops, get it now. And look for a review coming soon, probably this week. I'm hoping Wednesday or Thursday of this week on the Roll20 version of this and also the hardcover book.
Then let's go and see what's on the tabletop, and it looks like I see a can of beer.
Beer, sweet, sweet beer. We hadn't talked about this yet because they hadn't announced anything on it, but every year during Gen Con, leading up to Gen Con, we usually vote on the name of Sun King Brewery's official Gen Con beer. Well, this year, it's a little different. We're not voting on the name of the beer because that has already been decided. They are going to call the beer Everlasting Gamer.
Everlasting Gamer.
Yeah, which, it's not that great of a name, but okay. But this year...
Is it like an everlasting gobstopper?
Kind of, yeah, maybe. See, there's that back to Willy Wonka again. This year, we're voting on the can art instead of the name. So there is 2 options available. You can look at them and vote. And once again, personally, I didn't think either one of them were all that great. They were all right, but nothing too earth-shattering. But, go vote. And you can also win your choice of 4 day badges to either Gen Con 2018, which would be this year's show, or 2019. And plus, you get $100 in Sun King merchandise. So, win-win all around. But yeah, if you want to help design the look of the can for the official Beer of Gen Con 2018, the Everlasting Gamer, head over to the post on DDO Players, click over and vote for your favorite can art.
And it's Dragon Tail versus what looks like an ogre with arrows. And when I say an ogre, I meant like a cyber style ogre.
Yeah. Like I said, I wasn't all that impressed with these mock-ups for that, but whatever. And Sun King hasn't released anything more other than just the name. Usually we know the style of the beer, but they haven't even released that yet. So it'll be interesting to see what it was. But once again, I will take one for the team and I will sample this at Gen Con and I'll let you know what it tastes like.
I'm sure you will.
The things I do for our podcast audience.
Yeah. Now you'll have to head over to World War II and watch the war between the Axis, the Allies, and the zombies.
Zombies, you say? Yes. It's been a while since we talked about this, but now we know the release date of Axis and Allies and Zombies. And this, of course, is just what it sounds like. It's a revamp of the classic Axis and Allies, but there's going to be some zombies to contend with as well. It's for 2 to 5 players, and you are going to battle each other, plus hordes of zombies as well, because why not? It's for ages 12 and up. Going to take about 1 to 3 hours to play. The MSRP on it is going to be $40, and it's going to hit store shelves on October the 26th. And Avalon Hill says about it, Axis and Allies and Zombies takes the beloved World War II strategy classics Axis and Allies and adds a fun alternate history twist with streamlined gameplay, curveballs like chainsaw tanks and zombie mind control rays, and zany storylines strategy fans everywhere will enjoy. Chainsaw tanks, Pineleaf.
Chainsaw tanks. Actually, there's some tanks I think I've seen photos of that could almost pass for a chainsaw tank.
So look for Axis and Allies and Zombies on October the 26th, just in time for your Halloween game night.
I'm just wondering, though, what is it about adding zombies to World War II? Because in the last Warfighter Kickstarter that they had for Warfighter World War II, they also included one of the optional expansions that you could get was a zombie expansion where the Axis was experimenting with zombies.
That seems to happen a lot.
Yeah. As far as like the entire thing about Castle Wolfenstein was probably about.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. If you ever played Castle Wolfenstein, that's because the Nazis were making zombies. So, yes. So, well, I guess Nazis and zombies just go together, I guess.
So the version of Castle Wolfenstein I remember the most is the 2D version, which was randomly generated.
Yes, that was an amazing version, actually. I loved that. I played that all the time. I'm just surprised you actually know what it is.
Actually, that might actually be the first. When I say PC game, I mean of the MS-DOS type genre,
right.
as opposed to the TRS-80 stuff that I had before that. But I believe the first game that I had on a PC was Castle Wolfenstein.
Wow. See, you're blowing my mind here, Pineleaf. Last week you blew my mind because you own Gloomhaven. And now you're playing Castle Wolfenstein. It's like, jeez.
Well, it's been a while since I played that one. I don't think that exactly runs well on modern computers.
Probably not. I should actually try to install it and see, but I'm guessing probably not, no.
Then we have Betrayal Legacy release date has also been announced, and so a legacy version of Betrayal on that. Now, speaking of blowing one's mind,
exactly. Gonna say let's just think about this. Betrayal at House on the Hill, and then you throw in legacy aspects to it. It's exactly what it is. It's been a while since we talked about it. Avalon Hill announced it, and then haven't really released a lot of information about it, but we do know this, that it is going to add 13 scenarios, which will change the landscape of the game over a period of decades. It's for 3 to 5 players, once again, ages 12 and up. They say each scenario is going to take about an hour to run through, and the game is going to have a $75 MSRP, and it will arrive on November the 9th. And it's, as we said, just what it sounds like. Betrayal Legacy is marrying the concept of Betrayal at House on the Hill to legacy games. You're going to explore a haunted mansion as a family. So you're going to start in one generation, and then your next game, you're going to be the next generation, and then so on and so forth. And there's going to be a total of 13 scenarios that you're going to run through. And your actions and consequences of what happen in the one scenario will carry over and could either help or hinder you in the next scenario. As if Betrayal at House on the Hill was not hard enough, we're throwing in a legacy aspect to it. But
As if it weren't confusing and crazy enough.
Yeah, true. But I'm really excited about this. It's going to be hard to actually get a group together that will actually run through all of these, though.
Oh, I would have thought that your backstabby group that you're in.
Yeah, we love Betrayal at House on the Hill and Betrayal at Baldur's Gate. And yeah, I mean, that's like a perfect game for us because, we as I said, we turn normal games into like screw over games. So when a game wants you to screw over your friends, it's even better. So I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of that going on in this. But yeah, look for this November the 9th with the MSRP of $75. As I said, 3 to 5 players, ages 12 and up. And each scenario is going to take about an hour to play. So you're going to have about 13 hours of gameplay here.
Then let's head into our week in gaming. And
you notice there's nothing in my section.
Well, why don't you tell everyone what we did together?
Sure, I'll do that because that's all I did. Because of real life things and my computer took a crap again.
What?
Yeah, I spent most of my day today working on the computer and it's slowly getting back to normal. But yeah, we won't talk about that at all.
I think you'll be needing a new computer pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, yeah, we just won't speak of that anymore. So, yeah, what we did, though, before my computer took a crap, was we were back at the orchard again, and this time we did some Slayers as we were running to the actual dungeons themselves. We did Fleshmaker's Laboratory, and we did Ghost of Perdition. So that leaves us with only one more, the Inferno of the Damned. So we'll probably do that Wednesday, and then I guess we got to figure out what we're going to do next, because we'll be done with the orchard.
Very well. Then, as for my week, I took my Dragonborn Artificer into the Sorrow Dusk Isles, where I did the Iron Mines freeing Akka, and I noticed in freeing Akka, it said, balance recommended, and I can only say they were talking about the deadly traps that are in there. The trap that I'm thinking is you have this sonic trap, this long sonic trap that has the control panel on the far side. So unless you have evasion or something like that, you're not going to be able to disarm the trap without it. And so, of course, that means rogues probably don't have too much trouble. But if you're an artificer, heck.
Yeah, I was going to say, I usually don't have problems with...
Artificers aren't exactly known for their reflex save.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, I usually don't have problems with that, but I build my rogues with high evasion. So
very well. So that's what we had there. And I had a case where, of course, I tried to time. This is a timing trap. And I went into there, ran as fast as I can to get to the other side, and I still can actually... Oh, you know what I could have done?
What could you have done?
I'm wondering if Memory of Flight could have made me go across fast enough to have got through there during the interval.
I bet it could have.
Yeah, so therefore I could have used Memory of Flight and maybe taken no damage there, because I keep forgetting that I have that thing because I only recently got it.
I bet it would have either you could have got all the way through, or you might have got almost through and you might have took a little damage. But yeah, that probably is what you probably should have done.
All right. In any case, I think I got through 2/3 of it before it turned on again. Then. But I still lost 2/3 of my health as a result.
Those traps are no joke at all.
Yeah.
That's why I said evasion is your friend.
Evasion is your friend.
But you're an artificer.
But I'm an artificer. Evasion is
not your friend.
When I went through that... Oh, that's right, because you have to go through it again in Justice for Rust, where I went through the same trap again because it uses the same dungeon.
Right, yep.
So therefore, in Justice for Just, I thought, okay, I will drink a Sonic Protection Potion. I think I took 1/3 of my health instead of 2/3 of it. So I guess it helped a little bit, but all right. So that nasty trap in there, but as a result of those two, I reached a level 7. Then I decided to head over to House Tarasco and ran the Grave Robber.
That is such a fun quest. I love that quest.
And there I was noticing how, because you get these hordes, I think it's 7 undead at a time or some weird number like that, and but in the back you have those priests that are very annoying. And the thing is, though, with those 5 zombies that are coming in here, I at first forget about the priests because I have those zombies in there, so I'm using I think it's one of the rare times where I actually remember to use my rune arm, so I'm using my rune arm to put them on fire, then I'm using my breath weapon to freeze them.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm trying to go back and forth on doing that. Then I went into Tangleroot Gorge to finally finish Tangleroot Gorge to do Doom of the Witch Doctor to take care of the Witch Doctor, and then the last move to take care of the Chief. So I'm finally done with Tangleroot Gorge. Then in Minecraft, I recorded my June Minecraft Hardcore Challenge. So, of course, that will be posted all throughout June. And I decided that I decided to run that one under 1.13. 1.13 has not yet been officially released, but they're all late on the snapshot stage on it. So I decided, let's see how it goes. And 1.13 is one of those that's scaring a lot of people in the image. In fact, when I heard one of the things that was coming in 1.13, I was really getting scared of this thing because they're adding something called phantoms into 1.13.
Okay, that sounds terrifying. I don't know what they are, but it sounds terrifying.
All right. Think of it as a pterosaur.
Oh, dear Lord.
That spawns at night. So it's a pterosaur, so therefore it flies. It spawns at night if you have not slept within the last few days.
Oh, good grief.
So therefore, if you haven't slept within the last 3 days, these things will spawn. Now, in case you don't know about the Minecraft Hardcore Challenge, one of the rules in it is that you're not allowed to sleep.
Nice. Oh, that's nice.
So therefore, that was a real fun one. Now, it so happened that just before the wheel was spun to say what the challenge was, I was in my other world, in the world that I'm doing in order to learn 1.13, where I'm trying to desperately get a trident, and I still haven't gotten one of those crazy drowned mobs to drop a trident, so I'm still trying to get one. Those tridents are hard to get as you getting a piece of named loot. That's how tough it is getting a trident there.
Apparently so.
But anyway, there was one time where I was fishing. I can't remember whether it's possible it was this last week, or it could have been maybe the week before, where I was fishing on the island. All right, and I was fishing at night. Now, I was on a mushroom island. Hostile mobs don't spawn on mushroom islands. That's one of the nice things about them. Of course, they're as ugly as anything, but that's a little detail there. So I'm here fishing on this mushroom island when a drowned comes out of the water and smacks me, because the drowned spawn in the ocean when it's night, and so therefore it was technically, and they're allowed to spawn inside water, unlike most mobs. So therefore, it did not technically spawn on the mushroom island. It spawned in the water, and then it came onto the mushroom island to smack me. So therefore, you're not safe from drowned because you're on a mushroom island. And the second thing was when I lost track of time because I was underground and came up, phantoms were spawning on it. Phantoms don't care if you're on a mushroom island. They'll spawn anyway.
Wow.
So you're not safe from phantoms, and you're not. So therefore, the 2 mobs that are introduced in 1.13 don't care if you're on a mushroom island.
Oh, good grief.
And the reason why that was significant for this month's challenge is this month's challenge, well, wasn't technically on a mushroom island, but was pretty close to one, because that's where you spawned at before you go to where you're supposed to do the challenge. And so therefore, we're all thinking, we're deciding what we're going to do, that it must have been on a mushroom island. And I was just reminding people, were trying to decide, do I do this in 1.12 or 1.13? 1.12 or 1.13? And I did note to them that, to tell them my experiences, because just before the wheel was spun, I had the experience I just talked about concerning the confirmation. And that scared a few people away from 1.13. But I was determined to do it in 1.13, and I feel like I got some experience with Drowned and with phantoms, that I knew how to keep them from being too annoying. And the rule is that if you want to keep phantoms away, stay inside. They will not spawn if you're inside. Now, there was someone who 2 months ago decided to do the challenge in 1.13, and she was working on a greenhouse, and transparent blocks like glass are treated as not being inside. They're from the point of view of a phantom. So therefore, she's in the greenhouse, and these phantoms are popping all over now, not inside the greenhouse, of course, but they're all outside. But then you have them all dive bombing her, trying to dive bomb her. Of course, they couldn't reach her because she was inside the greenhouse.
Oh, jeez.
Because that's what they do, is they come down, they dive bomb you, slap you, and then soar back up into the sky, which makes it hard to hit them.
Oh, good Lord. Minecraft is like hardcore.
Well, if you're doing the MHC, it is hardcore. That's why they call it the Minecraft Hardcore Challenge.
Well, very true.
But anyway, that was what was going on in that case. So therefore, I ran my June MHC, where we survived on a small island. And as I said, I ran on 1.13. Then in my 1.13 world, as I said before, I still have not gotten a trident. I did manage to finally get most of my gear up to diamond level, though I still want that trident. I want a trident. I haven't found one. I have a feeling I'm going to have to resort to finding a zombie spawner, causing the zombies to drown and turn into drowned, and then try to see if I could farm all those for tridents or something like that. Maybe I'll finally get a trident that way, because I haven't gotten out lucky yet. I think I've killed about 85 of those things. I've heard a rumor that's about a 1% chance of getting a trident, so therefore I starting into the stage where you need a little bit of ill luck in order not to have one drop for you.
Welcome to my world.
In my multiplayer world, I finished the Greater Temple to the Temple of the Elemental Pine, so therefore I finished all of that up. And where they have the barracks that you go by on your way to the Greater Temple, I decided to replace the barracks with meditation rooms.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. Yes.
But why wouldn't you?
So that was one of the more interesting things on there. And oh yes, I decided on the dungeon for the next season of my multiplayer world, and that one was, I believe, suggested by one of the people here, the Salt Marsh series. I think you said that one of the listeners recommended that.
I did. No, actually, it was my idea.
Oh, that was your idea.
It was totally me. Yeah, we were playing last week, and you were asking about what some good water-type adventures, because you were looking for those. And I was trying to think, and then I remembered Saltmarsh. So the whole Saltmarsh series are some classic dungeons that revolve water, and apparently you're going to do something with those.
I'm going to do something with those, which means that means next season I'll be in a swamp biome, which I'm sure is going to be loads of fun.
You're looking forward to it already.
Yeah, because I have not done... I don't think I've ever spent significant time in marsh, especially when it's nighttime or anything like that. I find witches to be very annoying, and witches tend to have... and swamps tend to have witch huts in them, which is going to be really annoying if there's one next to my base in there. So that could be useful in giving some ambiance to the entire area.
Oh, yeah.
There is that. So we will have a witch hut potential there. And slimes pop in, I think if it's night, slimes could pop in, which means it could make it easier for me to find slimes, because usually you have to find a proper chunk and go way down to the bottom of slime. In fact, that was one of the annoyances, I think, in making the Greater Temple, because I think there was a slime chunk right near to where I was doing right next to where the Greater Temple was. So one time as I was working on there, I'll be hearing these slimes going, pop, pop, boop, jumping up and down now where I was. So anyway, next next series on that is going to be on the Salt Marsh, and I have a feeling that's going to be starting probably early July, where I'll be starting on that, because that's, I think, when we'll be resetting our world and upgrading to 1.13. It will probably be a couple weeks after 1.13 is officially released. And I think we're all thinking they're getting pretty close to that. And on the tabletop, I played another couple of rounds of Clank, using the solo game, using the app. And the first round, I was on the board where I've always played Clank in the past, and I really pushed my luck this time. I went after the best artifact. So I went all the way down to the bottom of there, picked up the best artifact, got out alive, and scored 158, which, as far as I know, is an excellent score.
Yeah, that's really good. For Clank, that's excellent.
Yeah, so that was what I did on there. Now, I finished that. I think I was at 8 damage on me and 9 threat. And threat, of course, being the virtual opponent. I don't know what happens if you get the 10 threat, but I have a feeling something really bad happens. And I was just one cube from finding out what that really bad thing was. Then on my second game, I decided to flip the board over and run it on the hard board. So it's the first time I tried it on the hard board. And I was, of course, a little bit more cautious this time, and I had a lot of things go wrong early on in the game, so therefore I was a bit edgy there, so I was taking things a bit cautiously. I just grabbed the first artifact that I could comfortably get to and ran away.
Of course.
So, of course, I only scored 89 that time, so it wasn't exactly what you would call a... So it wasn't... So less than 100. So, yeah, could be done better.
But you lived to tell the tale.
I lived to tell the tale. That's the important bit, right?
Exactly.
Right. Then, in One Deck Dungeon, on the app, I had a round with the Paladin again. I was continuing my campaign with the Paladin, and what happened was that they had released the DLC for the Phoenix, so therefore I decided, all right, let's see how the Paladin does against the Phoenix. And whoever decided that the Phoenix was a 2-pip dungeon, I think, made an error.
A little hard, was it?
No, as far as I know, I've played the Phoenix 3 times. I've played it twice in Forest of Shadows, and I played it on the app with the Paladin here, and all 3 times I beat the Phoenix.
Oh wow!
I don't think I've ever lost against the Phoenix.
So it's way too easy, is what you're saying.
I don't say way too easy, but it's certainly not. I don't think it's worth 2 pips. I think maybe it might be on par with the dragon, but certainly not harder than the dragon. So I think they should reduce a pip from that, but that's just my opinion. Now that's going to go on to my next thing to talk about is the In Forest of Dreams using the physical deck. I found out that the second story mode artifact has been released. This thing with story mode is that they'll be following 6 artifacts. The first one, which I talked about probably about a month ago, they give you the lore behind the characters for the for the original One Deck Dungeon game.
Oh, okay.
So therefore, this second artifact seems to be going with the lore and story behind the characters for Forest of Shadows. I have no idea what they plan to cover with the other 4 artifacts, because there'll probably be a couple more months before those start to come out. So therefore, I decided to play this one and took my hunter into the Mudlands, since that one you could take any dungeon, and I won that one. Now the Mudlands is a 1-pip dungeon, so therefore the fact that I was able to beat that one was no huge shock, since this is one that I'm using in a campaign anyway. So therefore I won that game, Hunter versus Mudlands. But to go into the next level in order to get the next part of the story, I'm going to have to go against a level 2 dungeon. And oh yeah, in this case, the special thing, because they have this progressing thing you got to do in order to make it harder on yourself. And in this one, it's to spend 2 time at the beginning of each level. Oh, that's for the first part of the story. For the second part of the story, it's 4 times spent at the beginning of each floor. And I think that at the next one after that, it's going to be 6 for the third round. So therefore, that's going to be make things even tougher. Most likely, I am going to go against the Vile Roots to see if I could beat the Vile Roots, the Corrupted Tree, which I haven't beat before. I've got crushed the last time I tried it. But if I have trouble beating a level 2 dungeon, then, well, there's always trying against the Phoenix again. Because that seems to make it too easy, though. I'm hoping to see if I could do it without the Phoenix, without resorting to the Phoenix. And that concludes what I did on the tabletop. We currently have 16 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or be guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. And if you have any ideas what would be some new and exciting Patreon rewards, then you could send those to Draculetta at drac@ddoplayers.com. And we have a featured comment this week, though I think you've already referenced it.
Yes, I kind of have. Yeah, it was kind of funny. On last week's episode, Jerry Snook, a.k.a. Cordovan, left a comment, and he said, "Sorry, we're working on getting a bunch of news public." Smiley face. So maybe DDO news coming. Hang in there, folks. Yeah. I just thought that was funny because I had put in the comments of what the show was. I said another week of no DDO news, and I guess Cordovan must have saw that, and yeah, he responded with, "We're working on getting some news public, so maybe soon we'll have DDO news. We'll see."
We'll see. If you have any other type of emails you'd like to send us, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance @PlayersAlly, DDO Players @DDO Players, Draculetta @Draculetta_72, and Pineath @Pineath Mules. And you can follow Drac on Twitch at Draculetta_72. The Players Alliance has 4 shows. Every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News. Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Lotra Players News. And please note that Lotra Players will be celebrating its 5th year anniversary on this Saturday. And every other Thursday at 9:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have XP Quest. And on the first Tuesday of each month at 9:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Chromatic Bits. You can join us for our live shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pineath Mules reminding you to quest responsibly.